手をついてくる人たち、かわいいとかって一生懸命写真撮ってなんかお菓子をやろうとしてる。
天空なのか当然なのか微妙なところですけど、今みたいな。
Today I did a free mountain hike in the Tokyo Okutama area. I did Mount Nokogiriyama, which is not to be confused with the other Mount Nokogiriyama which I did last week. If you haven't seen that video, you can watch it up here or up here. Mount Odake and also Mount Mitake. And as always, I'm going to give you a tip if you want to do the hike yourself on how to get there, what you have to take care of during the hike. First, getting there. The hike starts at JR Okutama Station, which is the last stop on the JR Ome line. To get there, you have to take from Tokyo, from either Tokyo Station or Shinjuku Station or some other station, the JR Chuo line all the way to almost the Ome Station. Now there is a special rapid service express that goes directly to Ome Station that is a bit faster than the normal Chuo line. There you have to then transfer to the Ome line, which is a local train that runs all the way to Okutama Station. All around it should take you maybe 1.5 to 2 hours depending on which part of Tokyo you're leaving from and which train you take. To get to the start of the trail, you exit Okutama Station, turn left, walk the street down until you reach a bridge. You cross the bridge and then on the right hand side you have the start of the trail. On the way back I decided to take the ropeway or the cable car down from Mount Mitake, which takes 6 minutes instead of the 1 hour hike that you would have to do otherwise. And then on the way back I just took the Ome line from Mitake Station again, all the way to Ome Station, transferred and then made my way back home from there. Now this hike is a little bit more challenging than the other 2 hikes I did in the Jokosaki coast and also Mount Nokogiriyama, because it includes a lot of hiking up, it includes a lot of elevation change where you hike down in certain parts. It also includes some sections where you have to do some rock climbing, and the overall hike is just longer. I believe it takes around 6 or 7 hours depending on your pace, but it's still doable. It's just a little bit more intermediate than as opposed to the other hikes that I did, which were more on the easier side. This hike can be done in either way, so you can either start at Mitake Station, take the cable car back up and then hike all the way down to Mount Okutama Station, or you can, as I did, start at Okutama Station, hike up and then end on the cable car. If you start at Okutama, you will first have to climb a very steep section into the forest, including what I call the Inception steps, which were these really tall and really kind of almost vertical going up steps, and there were a lot of them. This was certainly a lot more vertical than I expected it to be, but it then continues pretty much vertically throughout the forest. This first section of the hike is definitely the most challenging one and takes around 3 to 4 hours before you reach Mount Nokogiriyama. Mount Nokogiriyama itself is not really that interesting. It is really just a kind of a plateau, but it's covered in trees, so you don't even have a view from up there. There are some benches, however, so you can take a quick break there. From here on out, the hike gets a little bit easier as you go down again, and then you continue kind of on the ridge line of these mountains until you reach Mount Odake. Before you reach Mount Odake, there is a small kind of rock climbing section. It goes pretty vertically again, but Mount Odake is certainly the highlight of this hike. From up there you have some really beautiful views out on the surrounding mountains. They look kind of very nicely silhouetted, and on a clear day you can also see all the way up to Mount Fuji. I wasn't able to because in summer you usually don't have clear days, so I would say maybe in winter, or if you do the hike in fall, maybe early spring, that's when you can see all the way to Mount Fuji. The final section of the hike is almost certainly the easiest because it's almost completely going down until you reach Mount Mitake. However, just before you reach Mount Mitake, there are 2 more kind of attractions on the way. One is the rock garden, which are kind of these different rock sculptures and rock kind of formations running next to a small river. And then the other one are the Ayahiro Falls, which are these beautiful waterfalls next to a shrine, or like a small shrine, and also a torii gate in the middle of the forest, also very beautiful. Would definitely recommend just doing a small detour. It's maybe a 10-minute detour to see that before you continue onwards to Mount Mitake. When you get to Mount Mitake, there you will find a beautiful Shinto shrine at the top, from where you have some great views out on the surrounding area, as well as a traditional shotengai or a Japanese shopping street where you have some different stores selling food, local food, snacks, as well as something to drink. You can even stay in the area, so there are a lot of different hotels there, Minshuku, which is kind of a bed and breakfast, a Japanese style bed and breakfast, as well as more budget options for hostels, so you can also stay up on the mountain overnight and then maybe continue doing a different hike the next day. If you do not stay, then I would recommend taking the cable car down, which takes 6 minutes, costs around 600 yen. You can also hike down, but that's gonna be 1 hour, and the way down itself is not particularly interesting because it kind of is just hiking on a paved road that kind of winds underneath the cable car. So nothing particularly interesting. I would definitely just skip that, take the cable car, pay the 600 yen, and then make my way easily down. If you do the hike from Okutama Station, you will not have any options for buying food or drinks until the very end of the hike once you get to Mount Mitake. So I would definitely recommend bringing enough food and enough to drink. I brought 2 liters of drinks this time. Last time I only brought like 1 liter with me. because I knew that I didn't have any option, and it lasted me pretty much throughout the entire hike. There were some parts at the end where I didn't have anything to drink yet, but once you reach Mount Mitake station, you can then go to vending machines and buy something to drink again. If you do this hike in any other season than winter, then you don't have to bring any special gear or anything. But however, if you do it in winter, then I would recommend bringing some proper winter hiking gear, some proper boots, maybe even some like picks or something, because there are these small kind of rock climbing section. The rocks aren't too high, but in winter it does get covered in snow, so it might be slippery. So you want to make sure that you are properly prepared for these more difficult sections. Almost the entire hike is covered by trees, so you don't have to really worry about bringing a hat or wearing sunscreen. I still applied some, but it wasn't really necessary, as almost the entire section, I would say, except for a few small parts, are covered by trees, so you always have shade. And it also makes it a lot cooler if you do the hike in like summer, where it's 30 degrees plus. I believe it was 31 degrees the day I did the hike. Yeah, it just makes it a lot cooler, so you don't have to worry about sweating too much. Also, again, make sure to bring cash if you want to do the ropeway, because they don't accept credit cards. You can also use your IC card that you use on other public transportation in Japan or in Tokyo. For example, a Suica or a Pasmo card. You can also bring that. You can even charge it up there. So if you don't have enough money on it, you can charge it up there as well. Another thing that you should keep in mind is the last time that the ropeway leaves. Now the ropeway, the final ropeway or the final cable car down, is at around 6:30 p.m. However, the last cable car does not have a connecting bus that would drive you to Mitake station. The final cable car that does have a connecting bus is the one before it at 5:52, which is the one that I took. If you take the cable car at 6:30, that would mean that since there is no bus, you would then have to walk all the way to Mitake station, which would be around 40 to 50 minutes, and it would be a lot of hiking through, well, the darkness, because it does get the sun sets pretty early in Japan, especially outside of summer. So even by like 5 p.m. it's already dark. So you would have to hike kind of through the forest. It's still on a paved road, but there is the danger of getting hit by a car as well. So I recommend not taking the final cable car down, but the one before that if you can, at 5:52, and then just catching the bus. I believe it leaves at 6:18 p.m. and drives you all the way to Mitake station, or you can even go with that bus all the way to Ome station and then just make the train there to Tokyo. For me, the personal highlight of this hike was certainly the view I got from Mount Odake, which was really beautiful, really panoramic. I was, for the biggest part, the only person there. I got it to enjoy just by myself, which was pretty nice. I would recommend, if you do a hike in fall or in winter, then probably even more beautiful, as you can see all the way to Mount Fuji. And the waterfalls were also really beautiful. I've seen them once before because I kind of did the hike around Mount Mitake once before, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, the waterfalls were still really beautiful. They had more water this time than the last time I did it, so they were really kind of impressive. I even washed my face with them. The water was really nice, beautiful, ice cold after a long hike. That was really refreshing as well. But yeah, other than that, there isn't really that much kind of worth seeing along the path. So I would say the biggest kind of draw of this hike is that it's really quiet in the nature. There were a lot of sections where I was just hiking alone, where I didn't hear anything other than just some birds tweeting, and that was it. So yeah, kind of the nature sound and just being in the middle of the forest, completely quiet, that was certainly the biggest appeal of the hike, I would say. So yeah, I would recommend this hike if you're looking for maybe a little bit more challenging hike than some of the easier hikes that I introduced, for example, last week and the week before that. If you're looking to kind of challenge yourself in actually climbing and doing some proper like mountain hiking, then this would be a good option. And also if you want to stay up on a mountain, because I think it would be really cool to stay up near Mount Mitake. I haven't tried it myself, but I think I'm going to someday, because seeing the sunrise or something from up there must be really beautiful. Also maybe you can see some stars. But yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed today's hiking vlog. Unfortunately, so I did the hike 2 days ago, and yesterday was the start of the rainy season, or the official start. So that means it's going to rain almost every day for around 4 or 5 weeks. It's my first rainy season in Japan, so I'm not exactly experienced with it. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of rain, a lot of clouds. So unfortunately not a lot of clear skies to see up on mountains, but I think I'm still going to try to do a weekly hike. There are some days where it's at least not rainy and just cloudy, so during those days I will try to go out and hiking. And right now I'm particularly focusing on hiking in my area, so I'm doing Kanagawa hikes, Tokyo hikes, we did Shizuoka as well, and Chiba as well. So that's why I want to focus on these areas right now, because in summer, so we're in around 1 month for now, So in around 1 month from now, there will be a very cheap train ticket available, which will allow me to go much further to different prefectures. So I'm kind of waiting on that cheap train ticket so that I can save some money on the transportation. But yeah, for now it's going to be primarily hikes in the Tokyo, Kanagawa, Chiba, maybe Saitama area, maybe Shizuoka as well. And then once summer starts rolling in July and in August, that's where we're gonna go a little bit further away. But yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed today's hiking video. If you wanna know anything about hiking this mountain or any other tips on hiking in Japan, please let me know in the comments down below. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. And yeah, thank you very much for the support on the last videos. They were performing really well. A lot of likes, a lot of comments. Also many new subscribers, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I'm hoping to continue to introduce more of these beautiful nature spots in Japan to you, because there are a lot of them and I think they haven't really been properly explored on YouTube. So I'm hoping I can showcase some of this natural beauty to you guys soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya!